Hi everyone, Ed Bates here again from Kilworth Chiropractic, and welcome to yet another quick video in our short series about digestive problems. So just to recap, in the last video we discussed the most obvious physical or external cause of digestive problems, namely your diet. Well, another often overlooked physical cause of digestive problems is actually a lack of movement or a lack of exercise. You see, even if you eat the perfect diet, organic foods and eat the right amounts, if you don't exercise, then the nutrients from that food will simply not be transported around your body and you will not benefit. And that can obviously lead to digestive issues. Now, whilst having a balanced diet and having adequate exercise is obviously essential, not just for your digestive system, but for your health in general, believe it or not, the majority of digestive problems, in fact, at least 90 to 98% arise not from physical or external causes, but from internal causes, namely your emotions. So why do we have emotions? Well, simply your emotions are a vestige of our evolutionary history. They have helped us survive. Think about back to our hunter-gatherer days when we came face to face with a wild animal or enemy. Our so-called negative emotions such as anger, fear, and hate were very useful in directing our attention and helping us survive. In other words, our emotions were part of our fight-flight survival mechanism. Our emotions helped us take evasive action. However, an altercation with a wild animal rarely lasts more than a few minutes. In other words, once the threat has passed, our emotions should relax. Unfortunately, though, these days, although that we don't come face to face with too many wild animals, our thoughts, our fears, our worries and concerns seem to last an awful lot longer than just a few minutes. In other words, very often we remain in that heightened emotional state for a lot longer. And why is this significant? Well, science has known for and proven for a long time that negative emotions are destructive and harmful. For example, what happens when you get angry? Well, your heart beats faster and harder, your blood pressure elevates, your muscles become tense and contracted, your breathing becomes more rapid. In other words, your physiology shifts into defense or survival mode, and therefore stops any activity that involves growth, repair, or reproduction, including your digestive system. So prolonged negative emotions are detrimental. So what can you do? Well, first and foremost, whilst we are of course only human and thus prone to the occasional emotional outburst, the one thing we should not do is dwell on the reason. And to help you, you could take or do a lot worse than taking advice from a lowly mouse. If you've ever watched a mouse being hunted by a cat, you can very clearly see the fight-flight response in action. However, what's interesting with a mouse is that the second the mouse escapes, he or she relaxes. In other words, the moment the mouse escapes to the safety or the sanctity of their mouse hole, their fight-flight response switches off and they immediately revert into a more relaxed state, cleaning their whiskers or doing whatever a mouse does to relax. In other words, the moment the threat has passed, the mouse forgets all about the cat and doesn't give their near-death experience a second thought. But what do us supposedly intelligent humans do? Well, we replay the whole drama over and over and over again. And more often than not, this leads to recrimination and blame, directed not just at ourselves, but also others. Now, as I said, we're all humans, and naturally we all have emotions. But it's important to realize for every negative emotion, there is a positive counterpart. So we have hate and love, fear and faith, worry and hope, anger and patience, and so on. And exactly as you can't hope to convert ice into hot water by adding more ice, nor can you hope to transform hate into love by focusing on hate. So you have the choice as to how you react. Take anger, for example. I cannot make you angry because the only person that can make you angry is yourself. You see, if I say something really horrible to you, you will go through certain stages in your mind. The first thing that happens once you hear or register what I said through your sense of hearing is to reflect on my words. In other words, you'll think about what I said. Then you may choose and then decide to get angry. And so you generate an emotion of rage. In other words, once you decide to react, perhaps you do talk back or you strike out. But it is your conscious decision to become angry. So just to summarize, what this all means is that your emotions can have a really powerful effect on your body. And it's important to realize that fear, worry, jealousy, and anger are all significant internal causes of not just digestive problems, but all sickness. And what pill can be prescribed for a digestive problem when the real cause is anger or fear? And on that note, I hope that was interesting, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.